EPA and WA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for February 10th, 2021. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies today, actually more clouds than sun, especially later in the afternoon. We have a boundary off to our south that we've been describing all week. This is just a stationary boundary, and we have these weak impulses. They're going to move along that boundary and bring us some precipitation over the next 2 days. We will have the first one move in tonight, and the second one will be on Thursday night into early Friday morning. First of which is going to be affecting more areas, okay? So this is going to be a weak wave moving along the boundary, and that is going to come through this evening and bring some light snow showers to parts of the region. It's not going to be a big deal for most areas, and it will be a bigger, but not big deal, for the southern third of a region, which is right down here. We do cover northern Maryland, eastern shore of Maryland, and Delaware, so these areas here especially are going to benefit the most out of this. But even there, it's still not, we're not talking about incredible amounts of snow. This is a weak wave. So the big storm idea that it was floated out there earlier in the week is not a thing. And I keep still hearing things out there that could turn into something big. It's not. Okay, so just that ship has sailed. Let's get that out of our heads for now. So that is for both the case for tonight and also, or tonight into Thursday morning, and again, Thursday night into Friday morning, especially. That'll be affecting even less of our area for that wave. So moving this forward, we can see during the overnight and first thing on Thursday morning, you see the concentration of the snow is right near the Mason-Dixon line. Further north, you have a few snow showers overnight. So this is not going to be, something that's producing a lot of snow. Although the NAM Future Simulated Radar does look ominous here. It's just lighter snow further north. So this is looking at coming in during this evening, or the course of the evening, probably mid to late evening it comes in, and overspreads the region. You can see, wow, it looks like we're getting a lot of snow and pretty far north. Well, these are just very, very light on the scale here of snow. It's a very, very light snow, and it's not really going to amount to too much. It's really not until you get down in these areas, right in here, that you're going to get into some pretty good snow. And pretty good meaning several inches. Nothing major, but enough for down in these areas to be considered major. They usually don't get a whole lot of these. There's a lot of these chances for that kind of snow unless it changes over to something else, like rain or sleet or freezing rain or something like that. But this is primarily an all-snow deal here for these areas down here. But we will have snow up here, but it's just not going to be a whole lot. And then that is going to, as we get later in the overnight, is going to dwindle down to just taper to flurries. You can see really, really light stuff here. And then a concentration on Thursday morning will be down here across far southern, across the Delmarva, basically. So this is this region right here will be getting snow into Thursday morning, and then that should end generally before noon. That's the first wave. Second wave comes in on Thursday night, and actually Thursday, maybe same thing, mid to late evening on Thursday night. But look where it's affecting. These areas are not really our areas at all, except for extreme southern New Jersey and the southern two-thirds of Delaware, which will have additional accumulations go through the wee hours of the morning. Okay, so that one's even further south. So the first one that's going to give us some snow is going to be from this first wave here. Okay, and if I can give you this, I'm going to take this through the whole thing and give you a breakdown of what we should expect as far as accumulations are concerned. And that's what we have. So even though we had all that snow there on the radar, you're only looking at half-inch to an inch stuff up here in these areas. So if you get north of that line right there, you're looking at an inch or less. Okay, this is up in these areas here. And that's just from the snow shower activity we're expecting overnight. As you get down in this area here, between these lines here, this is generally a 1 to 2 in between those two lines. And then you get south of that line there, we get into a 2 to 4. Some areas might even be getting 5. And maybe a swath across South Jersey and southern two-thirds of Delaware here, of course, because you're going to have that second wave come in on Thursday night into Friday morning. And that could give you a couple more inches there, too. So grand total down here in that little circled area might be 4 to 6. These areas will be higher, too, but that's out of my area. Okay, so we're going to have a map here out for this because I do cover these areas, and we will have to have that out. So it might not pertain to most of you. You're going to see a lot of this coating to an inch stuff up here. I really wouldn't expect too much if you're up in these areas, especially the farther north and east you go, which is usually the opposite of what happens. Usually these areas down here are getting less, and up here you're getting more. So this is kind of a little role reversal here, and it's not a whole bunch of snow, but this is a decent amount of snow for these areas down in here, and I think this is where generally we're going with most guidance for this this system coming in tonight into Thursday morning, and for most of you it's just going to be overnight. Areas farther south, again, early in the morning here on Thursday, you'll still have some precipitation hanging around. Let me go back to that. On Thursday morning at 7 a.m., you still have it hanging around the Delmarva here, so you'll have some snow showers continuing into the morning. All right, so that's those two systems combined right there that I showed you of where the snow will be. We will have a map out for that on weather alerts. Just going to confirm a few things this, through the morning and take a look at all the overnight guidance at that point. We'll have a map out early afternoon on the weather alerts page. We'll have that out in the forum a little bit earlier, probably about 10 o'clock, 10:15, something like that. We'll send out the alerts. We'll have it out to the public between noon and 1 o'clock here, or probably 1 o'clock today. So that's a deal with that system. Okay. Now going forward from that, we have another system coming in for the weekend, and this one too looks weak. Not quite as weak, but rather weak overall. We have a weak wave offshore here. And you got some mixed precipitation types it's shown in here on the GFS anyway. That's indicating some sleet, maybe some freezing rain farther southeast, but this is not heavy precip. Okay, this is not heavy here. It's heavier than the stuff we are going to be getting for most of the area on tonight into tomorrow morning, and certainly the second wave. But this one here is not producing much quantitative precipitation. If we assume this is all rain, which it's not, of course, but just for argument's sake, say that it is, okay? And we give a total breakdown of precipitation total precipitation. You're looking at between 1/10 and 1/4 inch in most cases of precipitation. So there's not a lot with that. So even if you're going to be getting some icing, it's going to be lighter stuff, lighter icing. Any snow you get is going to be lighter snow, and that's on the GFS depiction, of course, here. So there's not a lot there. As we go over to the European model, very similar idea, weak wave offshore, and this is Saturday night into Sunday morning, by the way. Saturday night to Sunday morning. And this one has a little bit colder solution on the northwest side here, giving a little bit more snow in the interior and then freezing rain southeast. But again, this is light precip in this case too. All right, this is nothing heavy. So it's not going to be a tremendous amount of snow and not a significant amount of snow involved with this. Even if it did stay snow or if it stays freezing rain, there's not going to be a lot of it. All right, so that's the good thing with Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's the next one. And then we have a third that would be next Tuesday. Now, this is being modeled different. This is the European model is trying to cut this inland a little bit. I highly doubt that given the pattern. It should be further southeast here, and that's because the pattern right now is suggesting that. It is not suggesting a system is cutting in like this, okay? So it's giving some funky precipitation types here. I think that your GFS right now has a better handle on that. As we move forward to Tuesday, here's that system coming in. It is for the low, see the low is further south and east, and as a result, you get accumulating snow across our region. So this could be at least a moderate event. This is one of our storm signals we've had in the long-range outlook for some time now, and this is another one of those signals. Okay, this is the one I actually keyed on. I didn't even have the one before that because it was just so minor that it wasn't really showing up as a strong signal. This was showing up as a strong signal, so I do think you have a better opportunity as we get into Tuesday of next week to see some snow, so you'll see that reflected in our 7-day forecast. But this is going to bounce around a little bit, move around northwest, southeast, that kind of thing over the next couple of days like they always do. But we'll continue to follow this throughout the week too. But of all these waves that we've been talking about here, this is probably the best organized one and the best potential of all of them, I think. Okay, but unfortunately, that's at the end of our 7-day forecast period, and we have a lot of time to look at this, but there's a lot of time to move around a little bit too. So just follow along, continue to follow along like you have been with the daily videos. We'll give you the latest updates as we have them. And again, for this system here on coming in tonight, again, mid to late evening start. Generally snow showers in the interior, according to an inch. Further south here as you get closer to the Mason-Dixon line over to the Philadelphia region, South Jersey, Delaware, northern Maryland. Those areas could see several inches of snow, but I think we're staying in most areas under 6 until you got here in the mountains of West Virginia and western Virginia, okay, or northwest Virginia here. Those areas could get a little bit more outside my area there, but I think for the most part, we're dealing with the heavier accumulations right down in these areas right here, and our map should reflect that when we have that out early this afternoon today. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for February 10th, 2021. Have a great Wednesday.